They were my business on the front page. Headlines. I threw prescription in Dior frames. Sunshine. I had the vision back in 12th grade. Lunchtime. That I'd be killing with Dr. Dre. I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few.
Oh, don't make me have to lose it.
No, hold up, come on, out the jaw, come on. Ooh, savage, that's a nice get up. International, rockin' Japanese denim. Enough gas to get you above average. How many more do I have to from my enemies? They bringing my old ways back. Back in my day, would've had your whole face smacked. Look at you, wonder why ain't rap. Ooh, what make you wanna go and say that? And I'm on another wave, and I'm putting on some weight. Feeling overpaid, I'm supposed to do. Don't nobody know your name, we ain't never seen your face. You ain't never, what you trying to prove? I never wanted to ever be over. I'm out of Philly, I thought it'd be colder. I might need a chauffeur. Check out my chicky, check out my Now who are you? I don't know what you do. I don't know you short a few. Oh no, hold up, come on, out the jaw, come on. I've been swimming through the process and you can't see me on the likeness. You can proceed but with caution, give the proceeds to my god kids. Hold on my conscience, same my pop is. Lame when the pop get drop kick by drop kick. Why you gotta lie to me so much, babe? You tell me the same that you told what's his name.
Welcome in, everybody. It's the coach, and you're tuned in to Madden 19 on EA Sports. On tap is what should be a pretty good matchup between the New York Jets and the Denver Broncos. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, we find ourselves at the foot of the Rockies, Denver, Colorado, for this edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New York Jets and the Denver Broncos. And hello again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And, Charles, we look at this Bronco team. They come in playing pretty good football. Winners of 4 of their last 6 games.
And if you look back to last week, it was all about their defense. Anytime you hold an NFL team to single digits, that's saying something.
Meanwhile, for the visiting Jets, they were losers their last time out. They're going to try to get back in the win column, but obviously they're going to have to do that in a hostile environment.
And sometimes it actually works to your advantage. Now you've got to band together your team, the us against the world mentality. Let's see if they can use it and get a victory.
Three-quarters of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. So now here comes the Jet offense as they get ready to take over. As we take a peek at Sam Darnold, the former USC Trojan and 3rd pick in the 2018 draft.
Coming off of a loss their last time out, I think he's just seeking to make a bigger impact on the game. He threw a touchdown pass, didn't throw an interception. I think he just wants to jump those numbers up in terms of flinging it around and letting his receivers get into the end zone.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Geno Atkins in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. The shotgun snap for Darnold. And that's incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Darnold from the gun. And that is incomplete.
And third down is a key down in any game you play. And third down defense, something we've got to watch in this one. Got to be effective on the passing downs. That's a pretty good first step right there.
On fourth down, here's Brett Kern to punt the football away. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. And taken right at the 35. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. The fourth down run. Successful. Now they look to pay it off. Off on first down. On first down, Rodgers. Man open, he's got it complete to Cortland Sutton. And now off to the races, down the right side. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Cortland Sutton, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos have taken the early lead. And nothing too crazy there. A quick slant, and then he just had a seam. He found a seam.
And when you hit it on the run like that, and I mean the pass right to the receiver who's already in motion and moving, sometimes he just takes it and runs away from everyone else.
And he ran it into the end zone. And the defense, they've got to adjust there quickly. That's tough on them.
That's really tough because everything was executed well. Ball was out of his hands quickly, into the hands of the receiver, and then he was gone.
And the Jets set to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Defensively, we check the starters now for Denver. They played extremely well last week in the win over Atlanta.
The best defenses I know, they draw lines in the sand and say you're not going to cross that. For most of them, it's 100 yards of total offense. They didn't quite accomplish that, but still a pretty darn good game last week. Just over 100 yards of total offense given up.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, second and 10. Now off the bootleg, Darnold. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Sims. A very good move, but for a relatively modest gain out near the 32. Now as we look down, it appears we've got a Jet shaking up on the play. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. A second down completion got him 7. Now here's 3rd and 3. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
All right, here we go.
Darnold on first down. No, bottled up fumble. It's out, it's loose. The Broncos say they have it. They do.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
All right, Brand, I know we're in the early going here, but those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 17. To throw is Rodgers. Looking sideline, incomplete. The safety, Jamal Adams, able to break that one up.
This close to the goal line, you got to be very careful what the offense calls rub routes. When I call a pick trying to screen you off from your coverage, does a nice job of avoiding that and helping force an incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Rodgers going to throw again. And he'll find Sutton on the right side, complete. And this carry terminated at the 8-yard line. Good stick skills showing the power, but just not much room to operate.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football. I don't know about you, but that almost felt like old-time football there. 3rd and 2 is not necessarily just a hunting down anymore. A lot of times they want to throw the ball. They went back to the roots and powered forward and got the first down.
Shotgun now for Rodgers. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. 2 touchdown passes now here in this first quarter for Aaron Rodgers. And the Broncos will extend their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Jets offense now works their way back onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Here we go.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them. And the Broncos go to a nickel set on 3rd down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there.
Here we go. Green, 39.
Off of play action, Darnold. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And his guys are going to take over at the 21-yard line.
I think they're going to have to make some decisions here. That's his 2nd fumble here in the first quarter. And what I mean by that is, do you have the confidence to stay with him, or are you going to have to make a change and maybe go to someone else?
Now after the fumble recovery, it's Rodgers. He'll be taken down. The Jets get in there for the sack.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things has gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll take this inside the 30 to about the 29, maybe the 28-yard line. They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Now it's Rodgers. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Emmanuel Ogbah in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year.
Brandon, what I remember most about playing with guys who knew how to rush the passer, they would just tell you, just cover people for me, just long enough for me to get there. That's exactly what happened on that play.
So they recovered the fumble, but ultimately could not take advantage of the short field. Definitely
A lost opportunity right there. I mean, they were in prime position to put 6 on the board. Ended up settling for 3.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Now the Jets offense about set to take over as they head onto the field. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because it didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach will be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over. Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And they're going to face a 3rd down. Out of the shotgun, here's Darnold. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Von Miller in there to bring him down, and that is sack number 17 for him now on the year.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that one will be accepted.
First down.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be 2nd down. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. Rodgers going to throw. And he will find his man for the first time, Demaryius Thomas. And they're able to get this one across the 35. First catch there for Thomas. It's a 1st down. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
But it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still ended up with a solid game.
So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. To throw, it's Rodgers. He's going to rifle one deep left side. Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jamal Adams.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Darnold going to lead the Jets up now, 1st and 10 at their own 11.
Here we go now.
And they'll go on the ground. And some room for him there as he'll take this up to about the 15. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
Here's Darnold now on 2nd down. And the Broncos get there and take him down.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. The deep ball for Dotson. This is intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
Here's Rodgers to throw. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Rodgers will try again on 2nd down. Dancing to his left. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd. Definitely be a disappointment to come out of this starting position with just 3 points. They need to try to dial something up now, 3rd and 10. They'll look to run with Freeman. No gain on the play that time, so a big stop, and it's going to leave them with a 4th and goal.
And they might think about going for it here, but it's still just the second quarter. Take the 3 points, tell the defense you believe in them, and let them get the ball back for you.
And McManus able to put it through, and the lead now increases to 20-0. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
This is taken at the 3. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. The offense trots back onto the field, and we shine our Madden spotlight on Sam Darnold. New York set to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. To throw on 2nd down is Darnold. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help, Obviously one that should have been caught. They've got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Throwing here on third down, Darnold. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. Seems like this defense, especially the secondary, has really been contesting about every throw in this first half.
Remind me of a good half-court defensive basketball team. Every time a pass is thrown, they're right there in good defensive position, able to affect the play.
A big hitter that time in the punt game. 66 yards on the boot. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. Now Aaron Rodgers and the offense heading back onto the field. And he's looked pretty good. Does have the one interception, but 2 touchdown passes so far. Your analysis.
They'll take the offset. When you talk about throwing 2 touchdown passes, no one wants to see an interception thrown, but those things happen in the course of a ball game and over the course of a season. But throwing 2 touchdown passes, that's why the team has an advantage. That's what they're looking for more of.
He'll be hoping to make it a 3-to-1 ratio here in the second quarter.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Give them 14 yards there and a Denver first down.
If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
Here's Rodgers. Over the middle, it's Thomas. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A really good pickup of 28 yards. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. Back to Denver right after this. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. Rodgers now to throw. Incomplete. He had his hands on it, but couldn't pick it. But it's now fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. On second down, Darnold. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here.
Tight end has become a bigger and bigger part of the passing game in the NFL, but if you drop the football, That position can get swapped out with a wide receiver in that spot, a running back in that spot. There are other ways they can go if you're not going to catch the ball.
And that's not just his first drop, his second drop of the game. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will have a first down here at about the 40. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
A first down throw, Darnold. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete.
This team is not going to make it easy for you. They're a physical group, and we just saw it there on that play. It came in, made the contact, just as he's trying to haul it in.
So second down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40.
Now let's go.
Second down and 10, Darnold. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they had incompletions on first and second down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
From the gun on third down, here's Darnold. And he's got Snead. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another first and 10. On first down, Darnold. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. He was waving his arms, wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what did you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. Now, after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. This quarterback now just 6 of 16 through the air, but he does have a first and 10 here.
Set. 3-19.
To the air again, Darnold. And that's incomplete. And now following the incomplete pass, we'll get a timeout here for an injured player. We'll step aside and get a report when we come back to Denver. So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. A very solid gain of 27.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker.
And this is going to be intercepted. It's Chris Harris with a pick. Through an opening, and there he goes. The 40, the 30. Takes this one back into the end zone. And the Bronco defense has a touchdown. So from one end zone all the way to the other. Talk about a turnaround.
And how about the excitement that play generates for his team? Not just the points on the board, but the momentum and taking it from coast to coast, end zone to end zone. What a tremendous play. Now get that man an oxygen tent.
That's your boy Old Mo. You said momentum, right?
Old Mo, I think he's kind of limping across at the end because of that distance, but he made it.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. And they'll be set up with good field position here as he gets this up over the 40-yard line. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10.
All right, here we go.
They'll throw now on the final play. And that is incomplete. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you and Charles in a bit. But first, let's get to some of these scores around the NFL here in a busy Week 14. We'll begin our tour up at First Energy Stadium in Cleveland, where you see the final score there. 15-6, the final. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3.
Meanwhile, in our game, it's been a back-and-forth first half. Who can put it together in the second half? For the answer, we turn it back over to our broadcast team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Isaiah McKenzie now on the return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. So the Broncos come back out as we give you a look at the playoff race in the AFC. As we take a look at the playoff picture, and certainly a lot of jostling still to go in these final few weeks. For the moment, they would be a wild card team, far from locked up, but that's why this is exciting. These last few weeks, a lot to play for.
Yeah, exciting for us because we get to talk about it, and, you know, at the end of the day, 6 teams are going to go from each conference, and guess what? We're going to have a playoffs. But nerve-wracking for all the people involved, all the teams, because their goal is to get there. And anything less than that makes the season a disappointment. So they've got to be primed now for a big finish to their season.
So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. Now they'll run it on the toss. Space to maneuver at the 40. And he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Well, it's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. And this is good. He got just enough to clear the crossbar as he drops it in from long distance. So you had to figure that sooner or later someone was going to top Matt Prater's record of 64, and officially this one will go in the record books at 65.
You saw him lining up for this, and you just thought to yourself, you know, he couldn't make this. And sure enough, to be here to see it, that's pretty darn awesome.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Jets offense now getting set to start off this third quarter. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve.
Set. 3-19.
Now a play fake here on first down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. They were trying to get it there to Josh Doxson, and that'll bring up second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says try something different, try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started.
He's going to float this one deep right. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. When I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
And he'll slice his way down to the 30 with a pickup of 7.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Get reset. Hey, easy.
And they'll run it here. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Local over here. Get reset. Hey, easy.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Only a yard on the pickup there, and it's going to leave them with a 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front. And a lot of times that is one-on-one. If you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, Again, he's come through.
Now whistles come in before the snap. Looked like one of the Jets may have moved. Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little
first down.
discussion down there. Bad guys coming. Pick them up. Pick them up. And someone jumped.
A false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
He'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And, yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And they'll go on the ground. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down.
All right, Brandon, you know me as well as anyone. You know I don't usually advocate abandoning things during a game, but here we are in the second half. I think it's time to change things up. Let the running game go a little bit. Let's get to the passing game, and if you still want to get in the hands of the runner, maybe you swing it to him, throw it to him a little bit, try it that way.
Now the throw on 3rd down, knocked away and incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and he's just trying to play through it. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
Now this Broncos offensive unit ready to head back out onto the field. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Let's go,
First play of the drive. Let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. That one going for a gain of 11 and a Bronco first down.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Back-to-back 11-yard gains, and they've got another first down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Under a minute to go in this 3rd quarter as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. The tackle by Tremaine Johnson.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away where they just...
Welcome back now to Denver. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the 4th quarter. A very one-sided affair. On 3rd down, that's Grant. And he's going to have a first down here as he gets this one to the 17-yard line. At 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue.
Brendan, every great running backs coach I've talked with has always talked about when you have great vision, You're not consciously thinking about your cuts and your moves. You're just doing them. And I think that's what we're seeing tonight. He's about to run them into submission, hasn't he?
You took the words right out of my mouth. I was just going to use that phrase. He has run them into submission.
Wave the white flag.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
Early down stuffs will put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Throwing is Rodgers on 3rd down. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
Well, that was certainly an aggressive call and an aggressive play. Instead of just going for the first down, took the shot in the end zone, went for the touchdown.
And on 3rd down, they said, forget about the sticks. We want 6. Well, it's hard to put your finger on whether this is something to celebrate or something maybe the offense is embarrassed by, but that's now 6 field goals he's made in this game alone.
Yeah, he's bailed them out quite a bit so far, but it's very comforting to know that you have a kicker that's got your back.
This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 20. .27-yard line. New York set to take the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You tackle them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. The Jets on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is 3rd and 9.
Now let's go.
Movement there on the offensive line, a little quick, and a 5-yard penalty.
False start, offense.
So that'll back them up 5. So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. They'll set up a throw. Ball had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
Sometimes it's just not your day. There's another failure right there on 3rd down.
Here's Brett Kern now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. Taken in at the 11. Oh, look at that. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And, Charles, we are in the midst of a very one-sided affair. I think this is where you and I have to fill a little bit. You want to regale us with old stories of your childhood in New Paltz, New York?
I don't think anyone wants to hear that, but this is a perfect time for us to start listing MVP candidates, right? The best teams we've seen so far this year, the best games that we've called thus far, how we anticipate the season unfolding. We can go in so many different directions. Because the game certainly not taking us there.
Oh, I hear the remotes clicking off right now. Now they try the right side here. They find some open field here. Shifts past him at the 45. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Almost unstoppable on the ground there as that one is good for 39.
Well, we're beyond the tone setting right now. This guy's been the bell cow all day, and they'll continue to rely on him to move the chains, drain the clock, and lead his team.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. And they'll go with the ground attack here. He's to the 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Corey Grant, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Broncos add on. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. Extra point from McManus is good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. A drive there of just 4 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And New York set to take the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game. Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. Give him 2 yards on that play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
They'll look to throw here. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going. It's been that kind of a day so far throwing the football. It just seems like nothing going right offensively.
Yeah, it's a catch that should have been made, pure and simple. And look, everything else that goes into running a good pass route, throw it all out if you don't catch the ball.
Been that kind of game throwing the football so far. Nothing going right offensively. Nearly a huge return as it is. Still a very good one. 24 yards. Now the Broncos offense, they get set to head back onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit. You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
On 3rd down, it's Grant trying to barrel up in there, but I don't think he got it. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. Here's Marquette King now. Always a good sign when your first punt comes in the 4th quarter. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So it's Bronco football as we get you reset here. They've got a 4th down. And it's a fake here on 4th and inches. And the gamble pays off. They get the first. So they get the first down. Maybe not a huge play in terms of yardage, but the fake punt does the job. Now, this worked, so I guess I shouldn't be nitpicking too much, but they only had a couple of inches to go. Why fake punt?
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. If you're going to go ahead and try and pick it up in that short of a distance, I wouldn't even gone to fake punt formation. This is like using up a big play for no reason at all. Leave your offense on the field and pick it up. But again, what were we doing? We're nitpicking, right? Because they did get it.
It worked.
Hey, boys, got 4 down. 319.
Defense still with 3 timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them here as the kneel down comes. And defensively, a dime look here. 6 DBs on 3rd and 12.
No surprise at all.